What's up on Power Ass Grip? Today we're working on the TJ again. Let's do oil change. Let's do it. Get your oil catch pan set up to where it's just kind of below your oil pan. Okay, here's the edge of the oil pan. It drops to about right there to the oil pan. Why do I want to put it there? Because whenever I pull that plug out right there, it's going to shoot outward and it's going to form a big arc and hopefully not get all over the driveway and actually hits the pan. But as it drains out, you may have to take the pan and slide it back this way a little bit, because once the oil level gets really low, it comes out the hole here, but it also kind of pulls back a little bit. But you'll see that here in a bit. But for your initial setup, make sure it's pushing back further enough, because that oil's going to come shooting out there and it will go everywhere. So now, 13mm socket. Bump it. You can feel it come loose. Start unscrewing your plug and try to position your hand in a way that's whenever it comes shooting out of there, it's not going to like cover you. I'm going to get my pan ready in case I got to move it. Actually, I'll pick my pan up real close. Then I'll set it down under the stream. Go! Yep, I had it about right, so I was good. Oil looks about nasty. And notice right there your drip. That's why I said keep your oil pan kind of positioned, your catch pan, a little bit this side of the hole. And I've got a little bit of wind going on, so it's wanting to blow it back on me. Take your rag, clean up your fuel plug, or your oil pan plug, whatever. So now as you can see how the oil starting to form a little arc coming back. That's pretty well typical of what the oil pans are. Some people are going to be like, really, you're going to talk me through all that little detailed nitpicky stuff because you've changed oil a dozen times, or many times, or whatever the case may be. But I need you experienced people to know that I make these videos for the new people too, who want to learn how to work on their own vehicles. And I know this is an elementary thing, how to change oil, but there's some people out there who want to learn how to do this stuff who have never done this before. And again, I'm kind of positioning my pan because it's still running out there, but I got wind that's going to blow my oil, blow that oil stream everywhere. So I'm going to let this continue to drain until it's just a drip, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, you can see we just got a little drip going on now, so you can actually get your fuel plug, put it back in place. Oh, look at that, there it is. Go ahead and wipe it off, and we're going to tighten this up in just a moment so that you guys don't get all froggy on me. If you wipe it off before you tighten it up, it kind of keeps your tools a little cleaner. You don't have to get it super tight. Just like it there, a couple hand bumps and you're good to go. Now we move on to the oil filter. So now we're going to remove this oil filter. So it's normally pretty easy. What's going to make it difficult for me today is I got a lot of wind. There we go. Got it broke loose now. Okay, I've got it to the point now I can just about spin it off by hand, but we're not leaking yet. So what we do now is slide our oil catch pan in place and hit the camera while I'm at it. Just so I can find a place where you guys can watch while I do this. There we go. Move the camera so I'll quit hitting it. And now we're gonna. The thing about the oil filter is you've got the front differential, a bunch of crap in the way, and it's gonna probably make a mess. Now I've got the camera in the way for me to get in there. There we go. Ooh, gross. It splashed me right in the face. So while that's going to drip out of there for a little bit, we got it all over the front diff tube now, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off. As you guys can see right there, I think you can. I can't see the viewfinder. Right there, wiping all that off. while that drips. Okay, while that was dripping, I went ahead and got me a clean rag, because you don't want to use a dirty one that I was wiping the diff off with. Clean off the gasket surface. And what you want to be sure to check, and I've seen it happen a time or two, is look at your oil filter. Right there's the gasket. You want to be sure that gasket came off with the filter. Occasionally, and it's rare that happens, but occasionally I have seen this filter stay stuck to the surface of the block, and people don't catch it, don't realize, or whatever, or they just simply don't know it's not supposed to be there. Then they'll put the new filter on, stacking gaskets. Next thing you know, you got an oil leak and a blown engine. Okay, let's get our new filter ready. Now, prepping your filter, what I like to do, and there's some people who do not do this, and that's totally up to you. You call it how you want to. Me personally, I put oil in the filter. You will lose some when you go to screw it back on. But the more oil you have in that filter, that's less that the engine has to fill the filter, and the quicker the oil gets to the rest of the engine, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I'm using 5W20, what the engine calls for. And the filter I'm using is a Wix number 51348. Wix is also this particular Wix filter here is also the same filter as the Napa Gold filters. Okay, that's about all it's going to do right there, because it's starting to slow down as far as this oil sinking down. But I'm going to lose some of it anyway. Okay, put a little bit more, but it's not going to hold much more. Take one of your booger pickers and stick it right here. Get your little dab. Make sure your booger picker's clean, no boogers, and wipe it around the seal. Like that right there. Why do I do that? Remember a moment ago when I told you to check your old filter, be sure that the seal is not stuck to the block? Well, put a little oil on the filter right here, on the seal, will actually help prevent that. It'll help prevent any kind of leaks, but more than anything, it'll help prevent that gasket from sticking to the block. And when we come to take the filter off for your next change, your oil change, it makes the filter easier to come off. So it's still clean from where we wiped it off a moment ago, and we're good to go. Let's put the filter on. Like I said, you're going to lose a little bit. Make sure your catch pan is still in place so you don't make a mess. Okay, so you don't lose a little bit. You lose quite a bit, but if you turn it the right way, you lose less. But when you start spinning the filter and put it on, it actually stops that flow from the filter. So get that tightened up on there. It makes contact. Nope. Once it makes contact, you want about another half or quarter turn, something like that. Right there. Now where you put the filter on, you're going to have oil all over your differential again. And of course the oil dripping off the bottom of the filter here. If your rag's a little bit dirty, it's not going to hurt it here because you've already got the oil system sealed to back up. Okay, filter's installed. And just for kicks and giggles, I'm back here checking the oil pan plug. Be sure I didn't have a duh moment. Okay, set all this stuff right here out of the way. Then we're going to go up top and put some oil in the engine. Now on the passenger side of the engine, on that valve cover, you're going to see the oil cap right there. As you see right there, 5W20. And no, I've already loosened it up, so it wasn't like, oh my gosh, that was too loose. No, I've already loosened it, so there. Now take that single quart of oil that you had a moment ago and position it. You take your fingers, go over the end of it like this, and just kind of drop it right inside the hole. I think I dropped maybe 2 or 3 drops. Once all the oil drains into the engine, we have a magic trick for you. And through the magic of movie editing, we have a funnel. So now what I can do is take my oil, I can pour in from this direction right here because I got a wider mouth. It'll catch that oil and go straight down to the valve cover like it should. Now let's just see how much I can actually make that happen, because I have got this hood off in my way. There we go. Get your rag, wipe that seal off right there real well, pull out your funnel, and put your cap back in place. And just give this a nudge, that's all you gotta do. Because just like the old 4.0s, ain't that right, Mr. Blue TJ? You know what I'm talking about. The 4.0s and these 3.8s take 6 quarts of oil. So you're gonna get one of those big jugs of 5 quarts and one more extra quart to do the job. The Blue TJ comment, yeah, it's an inside joke. He knows who I'm talking about. Now, as you can see right there, the cross-hatching area, you can see the word safe. As long as your oil level is within inside that cross-hatch area right there, you're good to go. Start it up and check the check engine lights. This does not have an oil pressure gauge, so you're gonna have a light if there's an issue. If you see a light pop up about oil pressure or whatever, shut that sucker down quick. Only thing we have is a door ajar and the rear gate's open, and we got a tire pressure monitor thing going on here, but I know the right front tire on this thing's low. Now let's go under the Jeep, check for oil leaks. Look at your oil filter first thing. Looks like we're good. And if you guys are really sharp, you'll notice that the oil filter label is in a different position than where it was before. That's because I started it a moment ago before I kicked on the camera, and it was going underneath it looking, and I had a little bit of a tiny drip right there. I had to snug the filter up just a little bit more. Most engines, you can take that filter, and I'm not going to stick my fan in that belt, just watch that right there. Once the filter makes contact, you give it about another half turn and you're good. This is still wanting to leak just a tiny little bit, so I gave it a little extra snug and we're good to go now. Come back here to the oil pan plug. We're good there. And finish wiping off any drips or runs you may have. It looks like we're good to go. Now, my Power House crew, if you enjoyed that video and you learned a little something, be sure to hit that thumbs up for me, because that really helps me with YouTube saying, hey dude, you did a good job. Well, let's promote your videos. Thumbs up. If you really like my content and you learn a lot from it, just be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos. Now, everyone out there that's got a little wrench time under their belt, they're thinking, really dude, you're going to make a video of changing oil. There's many people out there who have just bought their first Jeep, first car, whatever, it doesn't matter. Oil change is an oil change. There's many people out there who have never done this before. And so something as simple as changing oil and someone making a video for it is going to help someone out there that's new and fresh to the wrenching world, okay? So leave those comments down below, stuff that helps other people. Let's make this a community to help people, okay? So everyone, like I said, if you enjoyed this video and learned something, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Leave us cool comments down below that helps people. Peace. Later, y'all.